Thank you so much, and I just really want to thank the electeds who have joined us today and just how immediate they responded to this call to help out our small businesses and our small property owners. When we got on the phone and called the chamber, called the Congresswoman's office, called Robert Cornegy's office, Councilman Cornegy, just the combination of people in government and out of government stating that we need to be on the ground and ensure that just as the storm of COVID struck our businesses, the storm of Ida struck our businesses, we must be the sunlight of hope and opportunity to get our businesses back up and running in a real way, particularly our small businesses. Everyone knows that 51% of our businesses, the businesses in the economy, is tied to small businesses. And if we don't get them up and operating to hire locally, to ensure that we recover from COVID, it is going to be a terrible turnaround for our economy. And I can't thank FEMA enough for being on the ground. These amazing staffers who are here. The governor was here last week. We met with her, and to get the resources here on the ground. So this is a real combined effort of how we all put on one jersey, the jersey that states Team New York, so we could get New York up and operating. So to Randy, my good friend for so many years over at the Chamber, thank you so much. He just moved so quickly. I think I spoke with you on Friday, and he said, listen, let's get it done, Eric. And Robert Cornegy, same, with our small businesses. Robert just said, listen, we have the Chamber on the go, we have the vans, let's kick it into gear, and we want to thank them. Robin from Flatbush Development Corporation, President of the Ariel, Mojica Ox Tavern owner, a great restaurant in the area. Nashin Ali, he's not here, from Jasa Grill and Gravy owner, one of the businesses here in the community. Janelle, a good friend with SBS, just really energizing and getting things done on the ground. And La Petite. La Petite Chambray, a great new business, a powerful story, just opened, hit with COVID. And if anyone knows this community, there's a lot of babies in this community. And she has a beautiful shop there, so we want her up and operating again. And we're just excited about the support that we're receiving from community, government, and private entities. And so the flooding from Hurricane Ida really hit certain areas in a very devastating way. I was out in Queens, out in Staten Island, here in Brooklyn. It was different from some of the traditional storms and hurricanes because traditionally we dealt with high tide, we dealt with full moons. Mother Nature made it clear that dealing with our environment is not merely building walls. We have to change the way we do business. This was rainfall, folks. I was out there. Our sewer system is prepared to handle a rainfall. It's not prepared to handle Niagara Falls. That's what I saw that day. It was unbelievable to see the Brooklyn Bridge flood. I've never witnessed that before in my life, the constant flow of helping people. I saw how severe and real climate change is impacting us. Homes and businesses in Bushwick, Williamsburg, Bedford-Stuyvesant, Gowanus, Crown Heights flooded. It was unbelievable when you saw in Crown Heights in the Congresswoman's district. And the flooding not only damaged property, it took 13 lives. We can always get back our homes, but you can't get back your loved ones when they're lost in such a devastating manner. And it traumatized New Yorkers. The storm caused extreme damage to public infrastructure, property, and so many other parts of our city. And so fortunately for us, Governor Hochul was able to secure and expedite major disaster declaration from President Biden. I just want to really thank the president and our congressional delegation for getting this done for us. You know, it's just so important. As a major disaster declaration, it triggers financial assistance from the federal government for both individuals and businesses. And also, Governor Hochul has really announced a $378 million infrastructure against future climate disasters that FEMA previously awarded to the state to mitigate the hazards of extreme weather. So really, you see the governor's just on the ball doing what needs to be done. So this money is going to help us to recover. And New York is resilient. As one of the store owners shared with me, we have a high level of resiliency as we come off of September 11th commemoration. We realize the spirit and energy of our resiliency. And so FEMA is here on the ground. They're recommending that residents have on hand their social security number, phone number, address of the disaster area, their current address, the insurance policy number, and a general list of damages and losses. And they also encourage applicants to register all uninsured and underinsured damages or losses. Listen, we're going to rebuild together. We're going to be here for our business community. And today, that's why we're out here on the ground, not saying to our businesses, you need to close your business, come downtown, come to Manhattan. No, we are coming to you, and we're going to be mobile in how we give you the resources that your tax dollars are paying for in a real way. So this is a difficult moment for all of us, but you know, we've been through storms before. And no matter what storms happen, we have found the way to recover as long as we stay together. And let's continue to do so. And so again, I want to bring on our amazing partner, Randy Pierce from the Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce, who will be followed by our great Congresswoman Yvette Clarke. Thank you, brother. Good job.
Well, good morning, everyone. I always like to be out in the community. Of course, I'd like to be out under better circumstances, but between COVID-19, between business shutdowns, between the recent Delta variant, between worker shortages that small businesses are facing, and now Ida's unprecedented rainfall damage, how much more could our small businesses take without throwing in the towel? Many of these neighborhood establishments, as you will hear today, are barely hanging on thanks to rent arrears, a loss of customers, and limited government support, and any damage sustained by Ida could force them to close permanently. Now, these are the businesses that make up the heart and soul of our neighborhoods. These are the businesses that hire locally from the community. These are the businesses that can't operate remotely. All levels of government need to respond with immediate support if we're going to save these establishments. For over 16 months, the Brooklyn Chamber and its business recovery teams, my team is over there, we've got Stevenson, Deshaun, Jonathan, and Dina, have been on the front lines bringing needed support to every neighborhood in Brooklyn at every commercial corridor. But we can't win this war alone, especially when new obstacles like Hurricane Ida appear. We are grateful to the Borough President Eric Adams, to our Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, to Council Member Robert Cornegy, to New York City Small Business Services, my Commissioner Janelle Doris, who's been a partner. We go back 20 some odd years doing this work together. The folks from FEMA, you guys are amazing. You do this all the time. I know this is your business, but when you're here in our community, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything that you do. Small Business Administration, they're handling the support for the small businesses, and community partners like the Flatbush Development Corporation. Thank you all for being here today. This is as the Borough President said, a big tent community effort. We're all New Yorkers and we're all here to support our small businesses and residents. Lastly, we also know that the Borough President understands the ongoing challenges of small business, many of which were here before COVID, including things like excessive fines and violations. We look forward to working with him and his team to create and implement lasting supports for our small business community so that community commerce can continue to thrive in Brooklyn and New York City. So thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Let me greet everyone this morning and just say how proud I am to represent this constituency. Let me acknowledge my colleagues in government, the organizations who have come together to address what we know is a massive undertaking. And let me just say greetings to everyone. I am Congresswoman Yvette Clarke, and I proudly represent you in New York's 9th Congressional District, which is in Central and South Brooklyn. I'd like to thank our Brooklyn Borough President, Eric Adams, for anchoring and hosting this event. He's always been a dedicated public servant, and his work on behalf of Brooklynites and our small business community has been unwavering. Very shortly, what we know about your leadership here in Brooklyn will be known by all New Yorkers.
Amen.
In the wake of Superstorm Sandy, we all became keenly aware of the fact that climate change is real and it's here. If any of us were under the illusion that Sandy was an anomaly with the remnants of Tropical Storm Ida passing through our region, we were once again inundated with catastrophic floods due to the remnants, understand that, the remnants of a hurricane. More than 10,886 people as of Tuesday have been directly impacted by the flooding, with many more still to be accounted for. The direct and indirect efforts of this superstorm, effects of this superstorm shook our city to its core as horrific stories emerged of families losing loved ones and our small business sector being sapped by the record-breaking waters that flooded their premises as a result of the storm. In the coming years, climate change will have made these sporadic disasters our new normal. Thanks to the Biden administration, FEMA has currently dispatched, as you can all see, disaster survivor assistance teams on the ground for the hardest hit neighborhoods and communities. Now, this is extremely important, so please pay close attention. If you have sustained damages due to Ida and you haven't contacted your insurance companies yet, you should file a claim with your insurance company immediately. FEMA assistance cannot aid with losses already covered by your insurance policies. Again, if you have insurance, please contact your insurance companies. The quickest way to apply is through disasterassistance.gov. You can also apply by calling 1-800-621-3362. That's 1-800-621-3362, or through FEMA's mobile app. In addition to the assistance, the U.S. Small Business Administration has established a virtual disaster loan outreach center for homeowners, renters, and business owners to provide answers to questions about the SBA's disaster loan program, to explain the application process, and help each person complete their electronic loan application. So come on, folks, let's not drag our feet here. I know what happens. You all call me at the last minute talking about you didn't get in. Get it in right now. The SBA's Virtual Business Recovery Center and Virtual Disaster Loan Outreach Center are open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and can be reached via email at FOCWassistance@sba.gov or by phone at 916-735-1500. That's 916-735-1500. To meet the needs of disaster survivors, FEMA partners with other federal agencies, such as the SBA. FEMA works with the U.S. Small Business Administration to offer low-interest disaster loans to homeowners and renters in declared disaster areas. You don't need to own a business to apply for disaster loan. If referred to the SBA, a loan application must be completed and returned in order to be considered for a loan, as well as for certain types of FEMA assistance, such as personal property and vehicle repair or replacement. If the SBA determines you are not eligible for a loan, they will automatically refer you to FEMA's Individuals and Households Program based on their decision. So your file will be reviewed to determine if you qualify for any additional grant, non-loan assistance. Since the FEMA Individuals and Households Program does not provide grant assistance to businesses or rental properties that are not occupied by the owner as a primary residence, FEMA applications of this type are automatically referred to the SBA for disaster loan consideration. And once you've applied, you will receive notification letters from FEMA either by U.S. mail or by electronic correspondence explaining your next steps. If you reported during the application process that you received damage and are not able to live in your primary residence, an inspector will contact you by phone to schedule an inspection. All inspections will be conducted without entering your residence. When inspectors arrive at your home, they will maintain social distance, visually assess the exterior of the residence, and verbally confirm the interior damage over the phone. Finally, I am fighting for you in Washington, D.C. As a matter of fact, I'm leaving this afternoon for more funding through our infrastructure package to get more funding for our resiliency. We need more funding to make our homes, businesses, streets, and subways a more resilient part of our infrastructure as the effects of climate change continue to grow. I'm also fighting to ensure we pass bills that will help fight climate change, such as a new Green Deal. My legislation with Senator Markey, the FEMA Climate Change Preparedness Act, will ensure that the Federal Emergency Management Agency is fully equipped to help our communities prepare for and recover from the natural disaster implications of climate change. I've also introduced the Climate Change Research Act to protect the American public from the climate crisis and mitigate the potential impacts of climate change across our nation. These are just some of the necessary steps that we must take now to address climate change. I'm thankful for the opportunity to represent you in Washington, D.C., and I will continue to advocate forcefully on your behalf. So to everyone this afternoon, stay safe, stay strong, stay resilient, get vaccinated if you haven't already, and most importantly, take good care of yourselves and your neighbors. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Congresswoman, and Councilman Robert Cornegy, who, when I spoke with him on Thursday or Friday, he said, let's kick in gear, let's get this done, and he moved immediately to do so. So thank you, Councilman Cornegy.
So I'm gonna take a point of personal privilege and say thank you, Mayor Adams. Certainly thank you, Congresswoman, and all the work that's being done on the federal level to assist our small businesses. But I gotta give a special thank you. A lot of names have been mentioned, and I wouldn't dare try to go over every single name who's worked in it, but there's a name that rings bells in crisis, which is Bernadette Nation, who's here.
Yes.
So if you don't know Bernadette, that means you haven't had a real problem. those of us who know about crisis and as it relates to small businesses know Bernadette's name, and I just want to thank you for your many years of committed service to this community. Thank you, Bernadette. We definitely love you, Bernadette. We definitely love you. I just want to briefly give context to what you're seeing today. Many years ago, in partnership, the City Council and my office and the Brooklyn Chamber created something called Chamber on the Go, with the vision that we needed to bring the city services directly to the doorsteps of small businesses. Now, at that time, it was about access to capital and technical assistance. Today, it's about bringing crisis management and crisis services to the ground. So that infrastructure was in place. So while I'm thanking FEMA and the federal partners, I'm thanking Randy Pierce and the Brooklyn Chamber and Janelle Doris from SBS for being available at all times. Now, while you see the Chamber on the Go here today, it's it's a service that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you should talk to your council member, who I believe is here, Matthew Eugene, to make sure that my colleague, I'm in his district, just for the record, who will absolutely help you bring Chamber on the Go to commercial thoroughfares at all times, whenever it's necessary. So I want to thank you. This community effort is just a testament to what we can do as community, as government, as nonprofits. When there's a crisis, let's make sure we do that outside of a crisis to make sure that we build the capacity to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And we can't do this without partners on the ground. First of all, thank you for acknowledging the president of the councilman of this area. Thank you for being here, councilman. But we have to acknowledge our partners on the ground, and Robin Redmond, Flatbush Development Corporation president. Robin.
Oh my gosh, first of all, I am so grateful to the Borough President and the Chamber of Commerce and the council member and of course Yvette and everyone who is here, and FEMA and SBS. This is amazing. I mean, over 17% of our businesses were directly affected by this event in a catastrophic way. More than 20-something% of our businesses were just generally affected. FDC itself had raw sewage come up. And we have some photos just to show you guys what some of the neighborhood looked like. I'm a Rockaway resident and a Sandy survivor, and when I was getting phone calls on September 1st at 8 and 9 and 10 o'clock at night, and people are saying, Robin, we're flooding. We're just flooding here in Flatbush. I was like, what? Flatbush is my go-to place. What are you talking about? I didn't even know what to expect. Today is about recovery. Today is about rebuilding our businesses, rebuilding our homes, rebuilding our tenants, just rebuilding. I'm so looking forward to our new administration when we look at our infrastructure.
That's right.
And we rebuild Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And we rebuild New York. And we look at this from inside out. Again, I lost everything in Sandy. I know it's okay. I know we can rebuild. It's just stuff. So it's just stuff. We're gonna rebuild. FEMA's gonna help us. SBS is gonna help us. There's funds. The Brooklyn Chamber of Commerce is gonna be here. FDC is gonna make sure that our small businesses get the help that they need. We just can't let it happen again. And that's what we're looking for from the people that are here today. And that's what we're looking for in the future. So thank you everybody from the bottom of my heart, because I love Flatbush and I love my job. And I love that you guys are my partners to make this happen. I couldn't be prouder today. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Well said. We want FEMA to get back to doing their work, and so we just want to hear from one of our businesses that's here before we wrap up. Ariel Mojica, Ox Tavern owner, and then we'll do a quick Q&A so FEMA can get back to doing what they're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Okay, never really spoke in front of this big crowd. I'm a little nervous, but I just want to go to the point. I'm really happy and blessed, fortunate to be part of Flatbush and Ditmas Park. It's a beautiful community. I've been living in this community for the past 30 years. I grew up in these streets and know most of my neighbors by name, know their kids, see them grow up. And at the same time, I became part of an awesome business, and that gave me the opportunity to grow as a minority and represent my family and my community anywhere I go. I want to thank everybody here for your time to help small businesses like ours to be able to reopen. Like we all know, COVID, it was crazy for the past couple of years. We are still trying to recover from all of that, all these new rules and things that we need to do in order to bring people back in. It's a struggle, but little by little we're doing it. And then a couple of weeks ago, we got hit by this huge storm nobody expected. A lot of our inventory, a lot of our equipment went to shreds, and we just had to start all over again. As I say, it could have been a lot worse. We always have to look at the positive things about this. No lives were lost, nobody got hurt. But as New Yorkers, we need to help each other out. As a community, we have to help each other out and be able to reopen and just make it better. I want to thank every single one who's here and took their time to help us in our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well said. Well said. You know, and again, our partners over at SBS, Janelle, thank you, have been amazing around this conversation. And I want to thank all of the team that came together. We're going to Q&A on topic, if there are any.
Time for 2 on-topic questions from the press, if we have.
Great. That means you did a good job. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Congresswoman.